Hi everyone, I hope you all had a good weekend. Today we will have dashes. First, you have to log in using the aplusstudent.com. Click on your name, move on to language at the grade 6. The chapters dashes and the lesson will be used dashes, okay? So we will start now. Alright, so we will start now. So, what is a dash? A dash often represents a pause in a sentence. So most times when you see a dash, it's simply just showing us that there is a pause in the sentence. The dash can show a clear break or set of extra content from the rest of the sentence, such as an aside, an explanation, or an additional detail. So we have this. According to the legend, King Midas ultimately died of starvation. We have a dash here, all because of his wish that everything he touched should turn to gold. Now this is showing a clear break. Okay, so it's like a continuous sentence. We have starvation, all because of his wish. Okay, so it was a full-on statement that just needed a break. Okay. We have Warren strives to control every aspect of his life, but surprise doesn't always accommodate his wishes. So we have dash here and a dash here. So now the dash sets off an aside from the rest of the sentence because you can see that we have life surprise, then we have another surprise and doesn't. So this one sets off aside. Okay. All right, so we also have certain quakes, then we have dash repeatedly washing one's hand, checking that doors are locked, or counting things. Then we have a dash also here, may actually be symptoms of obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, this dash set of additional details from the rest of the sentence. So, this dash is literally like just giving us like extra information. So, you need to be able to note the dashes and their difference. Okay, so the clear break, the aside, and also the additional details, right? Alright, so we also have insert one dash where needed. Miss Gregory studied both business and fine arts in college. Then we have a dash, a combination that makes dash sense to those who know her as the owner of a highly successful art supply store. So let's see if that one dash was correct. So we should have the dash in between what? College and a combination, right? So it's giving us what? What is this giving us? Okay, so inside a dash between a combination that makes sense to those who know her as the owner of a highly successful art supply store. So set off the aside from the rest of the sentence. So it's like saying that, oh, she studied business and finance first, and the reason why was because, okay, she had a art and supply store. So this is setting off an aside. Then we have the second one. We have the explorers needed, then Dashier touches their way through the dark ice cave. Its walls were more than 2 feet thick and blocked out the light of the sun. So where should we add the dash? So we have what's in between cave and its wall. Okay, so this one just shows a clear break. It just shows that it's a long sentence that just needed a clear break, and then it continues. So we have, I was hoping that we say, hello, can you hear me? Leslie, then a dash said loudly into her phone. So we have what? Where do we at? So I was hoping that we then a hello, can you hear me? So the dash should be in between we and hello, okay? Simply just showing like an interruption. All right. Okay. So sometimes we can also have interruptions. We can have something like in dialogue or quoted text. A dash can indicate an interruption. So if you have a dialogue or a text that's in quotation, okay, so it can just signify an interruption or mid-sentence correction, like Clint protested, but no, you're mistaken. So this is just like showing an interruption. Okay. All right, so now moving to the test. And you can share your answers with me, okay? So we have to insert one dash. So this was like the first question we saw. Miss Gregory studied both business and finance in college, a combination that makes sense to those who know her as the owner of a highly successful art supply store. So the first, the second. So we have the first one. Okay, it's gonna be the first. So we have this one. Okay, so next inside a dash, I plan to climb the highest peak on all seven continents. Yes, in 6 months, the climber told the news reporter over the phone. First or second? Alright, so we have the first. When cross country skiers legs aching and lungs burning cross the finish line of a race, they often collapse like rag dolls. First or second? So where should we insert the dash? First or the second one? So we have what? The second one is supposed to set an aside. Okay? So we have Mount Rainiers Liberty Ridge climbing route is known for its amazing views and technical difficulty, not to mention its long history of mountaineering accidents. First to second. So we have what? First one. So the painting is meant to pay tribute to women throughout society. I mean, throughout history. The painter explained. First or second. So we have what? First one. Okay. So that tooth doesn't. Ouch! Yes, it doesn't hurt, Brooke said as the doctor tapped on her lower left molar. First to second. So we have what? The second. Salmon hatch in freshwater and migrate to the ocean, though they eventually return to freshwater to swamp and die. First to second. So we have what? The first. Okay. The proceeds will support our, yes, 100% of the proceeds will support our effort to protect endangered species, explained the chair of the fundraising committee. First, the second. So we have the first one. Okay. So beneath the Church of Santa Maria della Concezione in Rome, Italy, lies a burial chamber, a six-room crypt filled with the skulls and other bones of about 4,000 monks. First, a second. So the second one, new DNA evidence suggests that the kiwi, a small, flightless bird found in New Zealand, is closely related to the enormous extinct elephant bird, first or second. Okay, so we have what? The first one. Okay. The trade union's president was voted into office by a resounding majority. At least that's the story they gave, first or second. So we have the first. Miss Wilkerson studied both business and fine arts in college, a combination that makes sense to those who know her as the owner of a highly successful art supply store, first or second. Okay, so we have what's the second one? The art festival features face painting, food vendors, live music, oh, and fireworks. Danielle said. First or second? Alright, so we have the first one. Okay, that's it for our lesson on the dashes. Can you tell me if you have any questions? Alright, so since we have no questions, we will end here. You have to try to complete this lesson if you haven't done it, and then we will see you again next time. Have a good evening. See you guys. Bye.